Hi everyone, welcome back to my SQL placement series. In the previous video, we clearly understood what a subquery is, when we should use a subquery in SQL, and also how a single row subquery works. We saw that a single row subquery returns only one value, and we can compare that value using operators like equals, less than, greater than, and so on. But what happens when a subquery returns multiple rows? In real SQL queries, many times the subquery does not return just one value. Instead, it can return multiple values. And when that happens, we cannot use normal comparison operators like equals, less than, or greater than. In such cases, we use something called multi-row subqueries. So in this video, we are going to understand what a multi-row subquery is, why we need it, and how can we work with it using the in operator. This is very important concept, guys, especially for SQL interviews and real database queries. So let's understand it step by step with simple examples. Before we move into today's topic, let's quickly recap what we learned in the previous video. A subquery is simply a query written inside another query. It is also called as inner query. The important thing to remember is that the subquery executes first and the result of that query is then used by the outer query. And we also learned single row subqueries. A single row subquery returns only one value. Because it returns only one value, we can easily compare it using operators like equals, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to, and even not equal to. For example, we can compare a column value with the single value returned by the subquery. But guys, in real world SQL queries, a subquery does not always return just one value. Sometimes it returns multiple rows of values, and that is exactly where multi-row subqueries come into the picture. Now guys, let's understand what a multi-row subquery is. A multi-row subquery returns more than one row as a result. Unlike a single row subquery, which returns only one value, a multi-row subquery can return multiple values. For example, imagine a subquery that returns the department numbers like 10, 20, and 30. Here, the subquery is returning three values instead of just one value. Now, the question comes, how do we compare a column value with multiple values like these? In a single row subquery, we normally use operators like equals, greater than, less than, because the subquery returns only one value. But when a subquery returns multiple values, these operators cannot be used because one value cannot be directly compared with multiple values using equals, greater than, or less than. So, to solve this problem, SQL provides special operators that work with these multi-row subqueries. Some of the commonly used operators are in, all, and any. These operators allow us to compare a column value with multiple values returned by a subquery. So guys, in this video, we mainly focus on the in operator, which is the most commonly used operator with multi-row subqueries. The operators any and all we will understand in the next video. Now let's understand a multi-row subquery using in operator with an example query, because we cannot use comparison operators with multi-row subquery as it returns multiple values. For this example, we have two tables. One is EMP table and another one is department table. This is department table which has three columns, that is department number, department name, and location. And this table stores the information about departments. And this is EMP table which has 5 columns, that is employee number, employee name, job, salary, and department number. And this table stores employee information. Guys, there is one important thing to notice in these two tables. If you observe both the EMP and department table, you will see that they both contain a column called department number. In department table, department number tells us the details about a department, such as department name and its location. In EMP table, department number tells us which department each employee belongs to. So this column acts as a common column between the two tables. Because both the tables share the same department number column, we can use it to relate the data from the EMP table with the department table. So by using the department number column, we can connect both tables and get information whatever we need. For example, in the EMP table, Ram belongs to department 10. Now, if we go to department table and find department 10, we can see the department name and its location. So, using the same department number, we can find that Ram works in accounting department located in New York. This is how the department number column helps us relate the employee table with the department table. Now, suppose we want to find employees details who work in departments located in Dallas or Chicago. Let's understand this question, guys. Here, we want to find employee details who works in departments that are located in Dallas or Chicago. If we observe the tables, the location information is stored in department table, not in EMP table. So first, we need to check the department table and find which department numbers are located in Dallas and Chicago. And we can see that Dallas belongs to department 20 and Chicago belongs to department 30. Now we have department number 20 and 30. Next, we go to EMP table and find the employees details whose department number is either 20 or 30. And those employees are the one who work in departments located in Dallas or Chicago. And now let's see how we write the query for this. First, we write the subquery to get the department numbers from the department table based on its location. So we write select department number from DEPT where location inside the parenthesis Dallas, Chicago, both enclosed within a single quotes. And this query returns two values, that is 20 and 30. And this is a single row subquery, guys. No, it's not a single row subquery. It's a multi-row subquery since it returns multiple values. And when a subquery returns multiple values, we cannot use equal operator. So we use in operator to compare the values. This is the whole query, guys. And this is the outer query which works on EMP table. The subquery gives the result, that is department number 20 and 30 to this outer query. The outer query checks the EMP table and looks at department number column for each employee. And if the employee's department number matches either 20 or 30, that employee details will be selected and shown in the result. So in simple words, the subquery finds the department numbers based on the location, and the outer query finds the employee details who belong to those departments. Now let's see how this query executes. First, the subquery runs and finds the department numbers of location Dallas and Chicago. So from the department table, it returns the value 20 and 30. Then the outer query checks the EMP table and selects employees whose department number either 20 or 30. So the final output will be this, guys. So guys, that's all for today's video. In this video, we learned what is multi-row subquery and how we can use the in operator when a subquery returns multiple values. We also saw how a subquery works with two tables and how the outer query uses the result written by the subquery. And guys, based on these two tables, I have framed 3 practice questions. You can find those practice questions in the pinned comment section. Try to answer queries for those questions and post your answers in the comment box. If you have any doubt while writing the queries or if anything is confusing, feel free to ask in the comments. Even if you have any other doubts related to SQL, you can post them there and I will try my best to reply to each one. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, comment your answers and save the video so you can revise it later. Also, share this video with your friends who are learning SQL or preparing for placements. And I will see you in the next video where we will continue learning more SQL concepts. Thank you for watching. Happy learning.